Good morning. Welcome to today's Monday Momentum Coaching. My name is Teresa with August Consulting Group, and I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. Today we're going to be talking again to you leaders, business owners, bosses, those who are in a managerial position over employees. We have read a lot lately. If you're following LinkedIn, Forbes, maybe there's a group that I like to follow called Leadership First. There's a lot of coaching on leadership styles and employee retention, because right now we're seeing with the trends that it's becoming harder to retain employees and then to replace them. So there's three leadership styles that I want to discuss with you all today. The first one is going to be leading like a sledgehammer. The second one is leading like a feather. And then the third is leading like an orchestra conductor. So let's break these down just a little bit. The first one is leading like a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer is strong and driven, and when it gets swung and aimed at a goal, it hits its target almost every time. And there's a lot of success and positive momentum behind a sledgehammer. They're successful, these types of leaders, and they're great at what they do. And so there's a lot that we can learn from them because they're not driven by fear. They're driven by just sheer will and determination. And there's something that we can all glean from that type of leadership style. But unfortunately, leading like a sledgehammer also leaves a lot of destruction behind, because leaders with this leadership style tend not to watch what they say, right? They say what they want, do what they want. They forget that people aren't brick and stone walls, they're human beings. And that kind of leadership style can really tear people down. You can't say everything that you want to say. You still have to have something that holds you back and draws a boundary. Remember that we're dealing with human beings that require a level of respect, and that they need to be treated like people who have feelings, right? That are trying to work hard for you and doing their best. People with this leadership style also, when they're trying to train or correct, tend to do so in a threatening way, where it's, if you don't do this, then you're going to lose your job, or if this happens or you make a mistake, then it's right. And so their employees tend to be on edge. They're afraid to speak their minds. They're afraid to have an opinion or to point out when something's not going right. They're so afraid to make a mistake. This wears employees out over time. So what we find is leaders that lead like a sledgehammer don't tend to keep their employees for 10, 15, 20 years. They kind of blow through them fast, and they tend to hire more on the young side. This is because they tend to keep younger employees longer, because the younger employees don't always tend to know better, that maybe they can get a better position someplace else where they would be treated with a little bit more kindness, respect, and appreciation, and maybe not talk to in that manner. Whereas an older employee, somebody who has a great history, who knows I can go down the road and get another job, they probably aren't going to stick with them as long. So we do just see that kind of as a trend. So leaders that lead with a sledgehammer, I admire your momentum and your determination. But think about your team and how maybe approaching them the same way you would business is probably not the same. You're dealing with human beings. So remember to show appreciation for them. Remember to treat them with respect. And if you have to correct them, stop and use it as a teaching experience. Use it as a time to kind of dig in, get to know them, find out why these mistakes are being made, or is it because they didn't know better, or they did know better and maybe they really aren't a great employee. But use that as a time to really sit down, get to know them, and determine whether or not this is somebody you really value. And if it is, more likely than not it is, then take it easy on them. And remember, we can't treat them like a stone or brick wall. Now, the second leadership style is the feather. Feathers are the strong feelers, right? They kind of wear their heart on their sleeve. They worry about disappointing everybody, including their team, to the point where there really is no leadership. There really is no structure or anybody to set boundaries or to kind of lead and keep people in their lanes. And so what happens is the team kind of runs amok, right? And there's disorganization, miscommunication. People don't always know what their job really is. There isn't anybody around to handle. If there is a problem employee, it's left to go on for a long time. And so that becomes really frustrating for the team. We know you care about this team and we love this big feeling heart that you have because so many people are missing that. But at the same time, you have to be able to not lead like a feather, right? Where you don't really have much of a touch at all on your employees. You still need to be involved. You still need to muster the courage to draw boundaries where boundaries need to be met, to show and determine and make that determination on who's actually the leader in the pack, right? And then establish processes, organizations, get your people in their right lanes, and then hold them accountable for staying there. And then when you have the opportunity to address an issue with your team, I love the fact that you care so much about your team. All you feathers out there, that's fantastic. But remember, sometimes you have to dig deep and be a little tough. Maybe take a lesson from the Sledgehammer and draw some boundaries. We're like, employee, we've noticed this, this, and this, and we need to make these corrections. Is this something you can do? Do you feel like you need more training? Oh no, boss, I've got the training. I'm sorry, I just was going too fast. Okay, well, slow down, right? Take it again as an opportunity to teach, to guide, to coach, and show them that you care. Because again, that's one of your beautiful attributes as a feather, is that you care so much. And if this is something that where you've been in business for a really long time, you're like, I don't have time to do that, and it really isn't my strength. Okay, that's fine. Hire somebody that can. Bring somebody on board that can do those things for you, or maybe promote somebody on your team. If they have great experience and they've been with you for a long time, promote from within. Remember, growth comes from within ourselves, within our team, within our business first. So think about who on your team would be a fantastic leader. Maybe they're already trying, but they're just not given the autonomy to do it, and then step back and let them do that. My favorite leadership style is the orchestra conductor. Have you ever been to an orchestra or a symphony and watched an orchestra conductor? It's beautiful because they've got these highly talented individuals in front of them, all of them with a unique ability to play a specific instrument and to be an expert at it. They stand up, they get their baton out, and then they conduct this orchestra of people with this amazing talent. They might not personally know how to play each instrument out there. They probably play something, or some things, but they probably don't play every instrument that's in front of them, but they know how to organize them, conduct them, get them pointed in the right direction, and then let their talent shine. And that's really one of the best leadership styles, because that allows the leader to focus on what they're good at. Maybe it's building their business or whatever service that they're providing for their customers, or running their store, or selling a house, or building a financial plan. Whatever it is, you allowing your team to shine after you've gotten them organized, put in the right places, and then hold them accountable for being experts at their own desk. This is a fantastic recipe for employee retention. And it keeps kind of everybody sane, and they know what their jobs are, they know what their responsibilities are, they know how work's supposed to flow from one department to the other. Our job is to step in as orchestra conductors, get people organized, get processes in place through collaboration with our team, decide when to take an opinion, when not to take the opinion, draw appropriate boundaries, and when we see an area for correction, we step in, again, take that as a teaching moment, a coaching moment, a moment to get to know that employee and find out, is it that they're just not a good employee, or maybe they just need more training, or maybe they're frustrated over something that they need to talk to us about, and then have that open door policy. But again, get in there, fix it, then step back out again, conduct, and just let them shine. Let them be the experts that you hired them to be at their own desk. And then you be the expert at your desk. But again, through collaboration, through mutual respect, and an open door policy, you're going to find that you're going to be able to retain employees year after year after year. And they're going to just continue to grow with you and your business. I hope this coaching session has been helpful. I appreciate your attention and all the feedback that I receive. I can't thank you all enough. Please feel free to reach out to me if you'd like one-on-one when it comes to employment coaching. This is something that we're finding there's a need for now, which is why I'm focusing a little bit more on that. Everybody have a great week and keep that positive momentum going. Bye-bye.